Hello, I'm Lisa Cylinder.
Hi, I'm Scott Cylinder. We are jewelry artists and mixed media artists working out of Brunswick, Maine. We met in 1984 at Tyler School of Art in Philadelphia and have been together ever since.
Yes, we started making our work together in 1988, and we formed our company called Chicken Scratch, which many of you may know. It is a limited production line, and we did that for 10 years when we first started, and we had small children and needed to provide a source of income for ourselves. And as that moved along, we decided that it was time for us to do something a little bit bigger and bolder, and we decided to make one-of-a-kind pieces under the name of Lisa and Scott Cylinder.
And we began mostly with using some of the skills that we had developed doing production work together, but we also started to incorporate found objects, and eventually it led into plastics, woods, just about anything that we could find that we became interested in.
Right.
The unique aspect about what we do is that we take found objects and we take them completely out of context and we manipulate them, we deconstruct them, we reconstruct them. We do whatever it takes for us basically to get our ideas and concepts across.
And I think that one of the most unusual things about us as well is that we do actually work together from drawing to models and engineering pictures and drawings all the way through finished product. So any given piece will go back and forth between the two of us a dozen or more times, just because we each have a very unique way of working with different materials. So we kind of have to decide what we're doing in the beginning, but it all does start with a particular object or a particular material that we are finding interesting at the time. Like this particular piece has taken a long while to collect all the proper parts, but this is a beetle and lotus necklace that is made with various sizes of ebony tuning pegs from cello, full size, half size on down. It is a mixed material necklace that is very animated. The flowers are resin that has been carved. So what we're doing is this is sort of a culmination of all the different things that we've learned over the years. And we rarely make big neck pieces, but we figured when COVID hit, we were just going to take the time we were given to make something really, really very nice. And this is one of those pieces where it is unique in the sense that it is our own, but it also references historical jewelry pieces from the past, and then we're just reinterpreting it using our own menu of pieces. And here's a closer look at this beetle and lotus necklace. You can see the descending sizes of the ebony tuning pegs and all of their special housings that are flexible on the neck cable. Each one of these little lotus flowers is articulated as well, and they're carved resin pieces that have been made to look like a lotus flower. The centers are tuning tensioners on a bow, and they are also from different size bows and in different sizes in descending order. All of the little beads are made by us except for the little glass pieces, and they are all articulated, making this a pretty spectacular neck piece. This is a brand new box we've made entitled Bullseye Trinket Box. It is a turtle, and it begins with a very large saxophone key as the base. When it was removed from the instrument, we both thought that it looked like a turtle. So we added 4 dart weights that we've taken from an old set of darts, soldered them to it, and then we made a shell. And this shell is made with layers and layers of linoleum that have been epoxy resin together and then carved into this fabulous shape. And also carved in the inside to make room for this wonderful box. The box is brass. There's some resin inlay and epoxy and enamel paint accents for the eye. And the super fun part of this piece is the handle on the top, which is a dart that we've made in sterling silver and brass. This piece is called Waterworks, and it's part of a new series that we have made called 20th Century Cameos. And what we've done here is we've taken the game Monopoly and the icon for Waterworks and made it a piece about clean water. And so we've fabricated the faucet in sterling silver. We've added a part of a jack from the Jack's game as the handle, and the rest of this is made in copper and sterling silver. It's all hand fabricated. The water section in the back is a beautifully hammered piece of silver that has been covered in a really beautiful blue to show pure water, and the idea that through the processing of the water, or the processes that humans are using, the water, instead of being a water drop, are a flame. And this is kind of our response to fracking and some of the other things that are going on in this country insofar as bringing fresh water to people. This piece is called Retired, and it is another piece in the series 20th Century Cameos, having to do with the idea of progress. And so we start with this piece, again, with the iconography of Monopoly and the idea of the railroad being a powerful entity early in the 20th century. And what we're seeing here is this progress of ideas, that the railroad is then replaced by this automobile. If you turn the piece sideways, all the way around the outside of this piece is an etched roadway where we've placed this Monopoly car, and each of the vehicles is emitting pollution. These are carved resin in different layers, and it is a very fun piece talking about waste and, retiring, the double meaning being, buying new tires for your car. And where do those tires go? Well, they go to the dump. So the idea of waste with progress is what we're discussing. The necklace on this is a rubber cord and has this very wonderfully articulated tow hook for the clasp. The secret on this piece is back, which is common in our pieces, is that this is horseshoes, talking about the idea of where we all started with the locomotion idea, using the Pony Express and then onto the train and car. This little fellow is a pretty unusual violin chin rest piece. We've been making different birds with these chin rests for a couple of years now, and we happened to find this in a recycled and repurposed box that we had gotten from a luthier, and this is a really unusual orange tiger maple chin rest, probably about half-size violin. And what we've done here is we've added a number of metal elements to this. We've fabricated that back, the leg, tail, eye sections. The wing is inserted and it is bronze. And we've altered the chin rest in the belly area, where we've taken away the original orange lacquer and put a mica powder finish on that with some black details and some drill marks. The bill is two-layered using the back sheet and the actual chin rest carved and covered in 23 karat gold leaf. The eyes are cast epoxy resin, and the really swell part about this piece, not only the fact that the color is very unusual, is that we've used the eye to secure the piece to the backing with some other tapped and dyed elements as well. These are figure boxes, and we make these pieces every year or two. Basically what they are individual brooches that are placed into shadow boxes. We try to use the musical instrument parts in different ways for these, and also we fabricate all the different parts that go along with each figure. So basically what we did this year, normally we make musicians. This year we decided to make a vocalist, because we feel that this time is a time when we all need to be a little bit vocal. Each one of them is singing a song, a lullaby, screaming, crying, wailing, what have you, and we feel that these are very powerful images. Basically, what we start with in all of these pieces is a large saxophone key, and we go from there with our concepts and ideas. And we'll start over here with this piece called Harbinger. And Harbinger, I'll give him a little tilt here so you can see how dimensional he is. His face is a large saxophone key. The mouth is half of a baritone valve, which is a large brass instrument. And we've cut them apart and soldered them together. The eyes and hair are cut away and then cast from behind in resin, so it's a pretty complex construction. The body is made in ebony with overlays in metal, both brass and sterling silver. Everything is tapped and dyed together with these really wonderful epoxy resin accents and placed in this lovely box with different kinds of mica powders and papers. This young lady is called Bel Canto. She is singing a wonderful lullaby or song to soothe herself. She has a wonderful face of a saxophone key that has been heated to solder the eyes and nose on, and when that happens, the old key had a heavy silver plate on it, and it started to ripple, and we really love this effect. It made her look as though she was weeping. She's also got sterling silver hands and carved acrylic hair. And this piece is called Tragedy, and it is the look of woe. The face is a saxophone key, and this mouth area would have been where a pearl on a saxophone would be. This is the place where you place your finger and articulate the keys. We've added some sterling silver teeth and an epoxy resin tongue. The rest of this figure is etched brass, and we've inlaid some really vibrant red enamel paint there to kind of give you the feeling of something crazy going on, and the idea that they're throwing their hands up and their mouth is open in woe. And the box is a little cramped for the piece, but that is the feeling that we're trying to give with this piece. And finally, in this series, this is Siren. These are all brooches. As I said before, they do come out. She is bronze and copper, and she also has one of those sterling silver plated saxophone keys for a face, so when she was heated it did crawl, which gives us a little bit of dimension in this piece. Her neck piece area on her dress is a piece of carved Catalan from a domino, and then we've inlaid this piece with epoxy resin and given it some interesting shading to give it kind of a cubist effect.
Hi, so this is a synopsis of our recent work show in our web store and our website, which is accessible twofold. There's a chicken scratch side and a Lisa and Scott cylinder side. You can enter either or both. You can see what's currently available by hitting the shop button for either chicken scratch or Lisa and Scott cylinder. You can sign up for our mailing list to get information about future shows, about where we're going to be, about classes and workshops that we will be teaching. And if you want to have either a Zoom or FaceTime conversation with us about specific pieces, or just want to touch base with us and see what we've made in more detail than what's available on the website, you can contact us through our email at lisaandScottcylinder@gmail.com. And we hope that you visit our websites and our shop and enjoy what it is that we produce.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.